Hello, YouTube. It is I, the special grade sorcerer of the anime manga sphere, SSJ8 Cody, and today I want to come at you with a little bit different of a video because I always talk about what series you should be getting into, what series you should be reading, and I know I've talked about One Piece a couple times on here, but when One Piece finally ends, who do you think is going to be the one to be standing against Luffy? The pirate who mirrors him, or the god in the shadows? That's right. I want to talk to you guys today about who I think should be the final villain in One Piece, because I hear a lot of people arguing for the Blackbeard side of the argument. I hear a lot of people arguing for the Emu side of the argument, and I'm here to look at both sides and tell you guys who I think should be the final villain of One Piece. Should you guys care what I think? We'll get back to that. So let's go off with Blackbeard, the dark mirror of Luffy. So when Blackbeard is first introduced on Jaya, Luffy and Blackbeard both order a pie and the juice. And they're like, oh man, Luffy takes a bite of this pie. And he's like, this thing is disgusting. And Blackbeard's like, this pie is the best thing I've ever tasted. I love this cherry pie. Luffy takes a sip of the drink and he's like, oh my gosh, this is delicious. And Blackbeard's like, this is the most disgusting drink ever. Showing that they have parallel ideals just based off the food that they are consuming. So, when we get through all of the different, like when we go through the moment in the bar, after he's met with Blackbeard, after Blackbeard's on the street, he gets into the fight with Bellamy and he gets his ass thrashed because he doesn't want to fight back. Cool. Then, Blackbeard meets him on the street and says, you won that fight. They don't understand what real pirates are about. They don't understand that you're aiming for the top and you can't stop to laugh at the people beneath you. That's what being a real pirate is, showing that while their ideals may not coincide, they respect each other's vision and prowess as a pirate. They both have like the same goal, but different ways of getting to it. Jaya has literally been one of like my top fucking 5 arcs ever for the way they've introduced Blackbeard and played him off as just such a subversion of a villain. He constantly is mirroring Luffy's like actions and goals the same way he has his own pirate crew, but none of them are family. The way he wants to become pirate king and be free, but he doesn't want other people to be free under him. They both have grown stronger throughout having important devil fruits bestowed upon them, with Teach having the Yami Yami and Gura Gura, and Luffy having the Gumu Gumu. And I say Gumu Gumu because I'm not spoiling nobody, but yeah, it's literally like they are both like two parallel sides of what feels like the same coin of Pirate King, and I feel like that is such a huge narrative payoff, especially after their encounters in Impel Down and at Marineford, with Blackbeard taking out Ace and giving Luffy that narrative crutch he needs to want to fight Blackbeard. You could say that Akainu took out Ace all you want, and that is true. But Ace wouldn't have been put into that position if it wasn't for Blackbeard handing him over to the government, which he even made sure Luffy was aware of in Impel Down. I mean, you guys can say whatever you want about Luffy being stupid. Luffy's not so stupid. Luffy might actually be stupid enough to have someone go to his face and say, yeah, whatever happens to your brother, I did it. Blame it on me. Like, I feel like everyone always argues that Luffy will not have the drive to want to fight Blackbeard, when they're forgetting Blackbeard literally showed up at Impel Down and went, Fortnite dance! I did it, Luffy! Woo! Like, come on. This has so much big narrative payoff that I cannot see the story not ending with a pirate versus pirate, the king of the pirates. It should be battle for who is going to be the number one in this long-standing world. But what if he has to fight against who is already number one in this long-standing world? Emu, the true enemy. That's right. Now, Emu is this mysterious figure that seems to have been controlling the world for centuries. They have ties to the Void Century, ancient weapons, and they sit above the Gorosei, which control the entire world government. That is kind of huge. Now, like, the themes that they represent with oppression, hidden history, and like controlling the world, that absolutely speaks to what Luffy is going towards. He wants to have everyone be as free as they possibly can be. He wants to uh he just wants to be free. And that generally, like, having the joy boy fruit would also set him up to be another oppressive force against Eno. And I also feel like if, with the scale that the world is on, there's going to be like a huge reveal for the D clan because it ties into Emu. There's going to be a huge reveal on the Void Sentry because it ties to Emu. There's going to be huge reveals about the ancient weapons because they tie into Emu. And I feel like with all of these big, huge reveals tied to this one titular character, that we're going to need to have them be the final villain for these payoffs to hit in a way that feels satisfactory towards the climax of the series. And with as much power as they hold, I feel like this war could actually change the entire world. We might even need the entire world to combat this on. Maybe Emu is like so big and over encompassing in power that everyone on every different island has to work together to hit Emu. Kind of like how in One Piece film Red, they had to hit Top Musica on both sides of the dreamscape and the real world. Maybe they have to like hit each island's Emu individually together in order to work together. And because of like the journey that Luffy and his friends have made, maybe it'll help it make it better. But I don't really see that coming to happen. Really, like it's more of like how would I make this work? So who would be better as a final villain? As like you guys could probably tell through my narration and like the way I gassed up Blackbeard, I really feel like Blackbeard is Luffy's final villain. He is the mirror that is held up when Luffy says he wants to be a pirate, and there is a pirate amongst pirates standing in front of him. Someone who's willing to go after what he wants, be as free as he wants, and not to let anyone in this world control him or his greed. He wants what he wants when he wants it. Emu, while it is almost a divine enemy, more like a final boss in a myth, I feel like it has to have not just be the final villain of One Piece, but the final villain of like the mystery. And so, what if, hear me out, what if Luffy and Blackbeard have to team up together as pirates of the world to dismantle the world government? Now that would be crazy. I think Luffy and Blackbeard may actually end up having to team up together in order to fight Emu in a way that Roger and Rox could never team up together to hopefully destroy these people. I honestly, what I really would like is I'd like Emu and Dragon to fight, and that to give Luffy some emotional weight to this. I would love to see I'd love to see a Luffy Sabo team up. But honestly, when I think about the end of One Piece, I think it's Luffy versus Blackbeard, and Luffy versus Emu just doesn't feel like it holds that same emotional weight that anything that a Blackbeard matchup could give us. But what if Emu takes Blackbeard's power? What if Emu ends up killing Blackbeard in front of Luffy, and that sets up the final battle? There's so many other ways that this could go down, but the truth is that I see Blackbeard as the final villain, and I see Emu as someone who's scheming and hoping to get that leg up on Blackbeard. But maybe it could be reversed just as easily with Blackbeard taking Emu's power and then becoming the final villain. I would really love to see that. But what do you guys think? Do you guys want a story that ends with the pirate dream clashing with another, or the world's most guarded secret finally coming to light? Let me know in the comments. Comment who you think should be Luffy's final opponent. Tell me who you think who should be Pirate King, or tell me why you think Bucky is the final villain of One Piece. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.